did not make a lot of money. And I believe for its entire existence, the NBA has subsidized the WNBA. And you may argue the moral, and there's a certain humanity to supporting women's sports. I completely understand that. And then Caitlin Clark arrived, and the team flies private, and the ratings are insane. Now, the league was growing, and I think the quality over the last 10 years has improved dramatically. But Caitlin Clark is, as I've said, Taylor Swift in tennis shoes. It is just a once in a generation. It's Tiger Woods the golf. It's Shohei Ohtani. It's like, it's an event. Every game's an event. Is the WNBA a viable TV product, or is it we have a once in a generation talent? Obviously, the WNBA would not allow you to just buy a Caitlin Clark package, but is she powerful enough? Because she could have a 12 to 15 year run here, Michael. Is she powerful enough? A singular star with a little bit of a Magic Larry Bird quality because of Angel Reese. That absolutely helps. There was a story we could follow. Us Americans, we love our stories. We love the journey. Angel Reese is part of this. Is that over the next 15 years going to be a viable TV product, or do we just have a megastar and that's all it is?
So it's both those things. And I know it's always sort of a cop-out answer when you give somebody an either or choice and they say it's both. But I do think in the WNBA, it's both something that was growing and viable and becoming more viable by the year. And then you injected into that a once in a lifetime talent in Caitlin Clark, who I think is very obviously the overwhelming number one factor in the growth of WNBA viewership last year. I think when we looked at Indiana Fever games versus all other WNBA games last year, the Caitlin Clark games were doing triple the viewership of the rest of the league. And that is a Tiger Woods level of impact. I don't know that there's ever been anybody in team sports, even Michael Jordan, where you would look at their games and see them doing triple the average of the rest of the league. So I do think a big part of it is that once in a lifetime phenomenon of Caitlin Clark. And we should just acknowledge the obvious and, make it clear that she is plainly the driving force behind the growth of the league.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if God forbid Caitlin Clark had a career-ending injury, she were out of the league, if Caitlin Clark just were taken out of the equation, I still think the WNBA would be on a growth trajectory. And it wouldn't be the kind of exponential growth that we saw last year. But this is a product that was moving forward pretty steadily prior to Caitlin. And even now, if you look at the collegiate level, seeing growth,
yes,
ESPN seeing some growth. You've still got this next generation of superstars. That's Juju Watkins here in LA. It's Paige Beckers in Connecticut, right? Like we're still seeing progress post Caitlin. And it makes me think that like, obviously she's the catalyst. She's what drives the explosion of interest. I think sometimes we overstate the idea that it's more than Caitlin, but there was a growth curve there before and I think it would
yes.
continue even if we were somehow in a post-Caitlin environment.
You know what?
The only problem with that is, yes, we can say there has been growth and it was on a trajectory on the upside. But the problem is that, as they're both stating, Colin and his colleague here, with the growth of Caitlin Clark, as much as Caitlin Clark, she's a Tiger Woods, we're saying she's generational. We've never seen this before with Michael Jordan. Nobody has ever had this impact on a league. Ever. We just made that very clear, right? And guess what? This league still lost money. So the question was, will this last? Well, without Caitlin Clark, how is it going to last if we have nothing even close to compare it to? We all just sat up here and listened. There's nothing to compare to Caitlin Clark. So how can the league last if they're losing $50 million a year with Caitlin Clark? Although we're not saying it's Caitlin Clark's fault, and we're not saying that they could have lost 55 million, 60 million without Caitlin Clark last year. But what we're saying is, without Caitlin Clark, or anything of the sort of Caitlin Clark, I don't care if her name is whoever, Cindy, if she doesn't have the impact that Caitlin Clark had, this league is still gonna go or bottom out with still losing millions of dollars a year. So it's gonna come to a point where how long is the NBA gonna keep on providing and providing for this league? Now, if we're banking on getting another 10 to 15, 20 fan bases like Caitlin Clark's, who can move the needle to a way where the league can start seeing profits, hey, this is a great product. Also, if we can get good, exciting basketball. Yes, but with good, exciting basketball, you have to be able to bring in fans. We're not here to, Caitlin has her fan base. She attracted all of her fans. We need you guys to bring in a piece of the pie. So we could get a whole pie. Then we could talk about, extending the game, extending this for years and years. Yeah, if Caitlin Clark lasts for 12, 15 years healthy, of course. We're all going to want to watch her. But as Colin said, when Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever get off the TV, are you going to want to watch another WNBA game if Caitlin Clark is not involved? You have to honestly answer that question. When Caitlin Clark got out of the playoffs in the Indiana Fever, when they took a first-round exit to Connecticut, playoffs was done for me. WNBA season was done. You could check everything. I was done on YouTube for 3 months. I was over it. It wasn't exciting. For some reason, Caitlin Clark brings that excitement. Something about the way they play, their fast pace, the way they're moving the ball, just exciting basketball. And I'm not saying none of these girls could play basketball. I'm not saying they're not exciting, but it's not there yet how Caitlin Clark is. Like, even her senior year, there's nobody I've ever seen who have that impact. Ever. Not even the closest person right now would be Cooper. And at that point, he's not even close. Not even close. Bro. So I really don't know how this is going to last. I want it to last, so we have content and things like that to talk about. Like Colin said, what's her name is part of this. We need headlines. We need controversy. This is part of it. Will she last? Will it last? That's the big question, man. So let me know what you guys think about the video. Shout out to Colin. And like I said, it's not that I don't want it to last. You have to be realistic. I would love for it to last. That's how, like I said, we're going to continue to create content, create memories and headlines and things like that for you guys to watch. But we'll just see how long the NBA wants to, support. And like I said, if they have a product like Caitlin Clark, they need to be going all in, taking advantage of all areas possible. Like, now that I really think about it, Caitlin Clark should have been on that Olympic team. Just take advantage of the moment. There's nobody bigger than Caitlin Clark. And you have to come to realize that, hey, Caitlin Clark is the biggest. And either we're going to take advantage of this right now, or we're going to continue to be in the same place we've been in the past 20 years. That's all I got right there, man. I'm going to catch you on the next video. I'm out.